Welcome to Iconic TV. I want to ask you a question. Do you have a money problem? Are you finding out that you have a business, but sometimes it feels like you have a bigger money problem? Today, we're talking about the money fix. And we come here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to talk about how do you fix these money problems in your business. You might not think you have a money problem. And when people come to us, they say, the real thing I need to have to fix my business to make everything work perfectly is I need more leads, or I need a better team, or I need a different offer, or I need to understand my avatar. I'm not sure what my niche is. I'm not sure if I should do ads or not do ads. My ads aren't working. All of these things are what people come in and say, this is my problem. Those are all external problems. The real problem is a money problem. Because here's how you want to look at this. And I heard this from an amazing, brilliant woman, my mother. And she used to always say to me as I was growing up is, Connie, is this a problem that money will fix? I'm like, well, yeah. Okay, so if money will fix it, it isn't a problem. So you can always put more money behind the leads problem. You can put money behind hiring the right person. You can put money behind maybe your company location, right? All of these things, if you look at it closely, money will fix that problem. Therefore, it's really not a problem, okay? So today we're going to fix your money problem, and I'm going to show you what the real problem is, and we want to get started right now. Okay, so here's the thing. It isn't a leads problem. It isn't a staffing problem. It isn't a marketing problem. It isn't a problem with your competition. All of those can be overcome with one thing, and that thing is more money. The real problem in your business is you are not putting enough money away in the bank account. You are not making enough profit. If you had more free cash, that's cash flow, cash flowing to you, all of those things could be wiped out. So today we're going to show you exactly how to do that. And I want you to look at this in a different way, because really money is, they call it a lot of things. Some people say, oh, it's energy, it's this. Well, money is just an exchange of value. And if you don't have enough money, you are not exchanging enough value. And there's two parts to that. Number one, you might not be doing enough exchanging, right? Putting your messaging and your offer out there, okay? And number two, you might not have enough value in what you are exchanging. Think about that. Which one is it for you? Are you not in the market enough? Are you not doing enough exchanges? Or is what you're exchanging really not as valuable as people think? Okay. These are tough questions that you really have to ask if you want to scale your business to 7 figures. And why do I talk about that? Because that's what we do at the Iconic Brands is we help you look at your business, have a strategic plan, and then scale it from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year or less. Okay, without any of the stress and the struggle and the overwhelm that most people experience. Now, most people don't believe they can actually have a business that can go to $1 million in a year. That is a money problem, okay? And we're going to fix that today as well. So I want to start diving deep into this and let you know, again, what we want to do here is every week we come here and we are going to have the Money Fix program. Every week you bring your problem, I will give you a prescription, and it will be different every week. Every week is going to be a strategic plan that you can use, okay? Something new that you can do that night or the next day and have it impact your business in the next week, in the next month, okay? Because if you don't take action, guess what? You aren't going to have anything. This isn't an incubator. I don't want you to just study and learn and listen. I want you to actually make this an accelerator. Go out and do the things that we're talking about. All right. So I want to go ahead and really, really get started because this is going to be a really quick thing. Now, if you do have to jump out for a minute, if you need to leave for something, okay, I want you to know you can scan the QR code, bring this with you on the go. You can watch it live on the road as well. So, wherever you are, today is the day to listen because this is going to be a moneymaker for you. So, let's talk about this. If you think about money, it's a control thing, right? Who has the monopoly? Who has the money, right? And why don't you have money? If you don't have enough money, it's because you've divided your attention off of money, off of the target or whatever that money is going to do. If that money is to buy you freedom, that's great. If it's to buy you a Ferrari, that's great. I don't care what it is. But when you don't have it, you've taken your eye off the prize, right? So think about that. You need to be singularly focused. You need to have a monopoly of focus on the thing that you want, and that will bring it to you. Okay. Singularity is one of the cornerstones of what we talk about. Just one thing. It's contrary to what other people do, but so is making $1 million in a year. And if you want either one of those things, then listen to this idea, right? And who are you listening to? Somebody who's built 5 multi-million-dollar companies from scratch. So I've learned a thing or two along the way. So what I want to do is enlighten you today on how you can get your mindset right around this. And first, we have to acknowledge what's really happening. What's really happening is the entire game is different. This year, 2024, and we're in the last quarter, we're in 98 days left in the year. Can you believe that? It's not like 99 bottles of beer on the wall. No, it's 98 days left. Does it make you excited? Like, hey, I can really push. It's a short-term goal. I can work really hard for just a period of time. I can be very focused. That's what you need to do. All right. So it's not the old way it was like, oh, look, all I have to do is get all of these people, all these eyeballs on my stuff, on me, and I will make money, right? So $100,000, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, 5 million followers, whatever. Okay. It's a different game. And especially with AI, it's a very different game because now everybody is kind of manufactured. So you have to be very, very real. So vanity metrics are not going to put money in the bank. So if you're so concerned about your numbers and how many people are looking at your things, get off it, right? Get monetarily focused on profit. That's what we really want to do. If you're not putting money in the bank, there's no reason to listen. Okay. So I want you to realize this is different. What we did before isn't working. Okay. So when you think about a monopoly, I want you to think about the game, right? It's a great game. If you've ever played the game Monopoly, made over $1.3 billion, right? From a board game invented by a woman in 1902. And so let's take a look at what we can learn from the Monopoly game about the game of money with your business, because you have to lighten up, right? I want to teach you how to win the money game. And it is a game. The problem, the reason most people don't have enough money is that they don't know the rules of the game. They were taught different rules, and now the game has changed and you don't know how to play anymore. All right. You might have the exact same board. It looks like the same thing, right? I have my business, I have online, I have a brick and mortar business. It doesn't matter. A chessboard and a checkerboard look identical. What happens is the pieces are different and the strategy is different, right? One is just move diagonally over here. Other ones you can move all different ways. One is a very strategic process. You have to think several moves ahead. And one is just kind of whatever. Okay. One can go very quick and one can take a long time. So the game of chess is really about strategy and compounding and growth and all of this stuff. I can go into another time. But today we want to talk about money, all right? Because I know it's a hot topic for people. And where we are in the year and the climate and the economic space and politically, everything is going to change and is going to change. And it is going to change much faster than you believe. Remember about 5 years ago when something big changed in our lives? We were told it was going to be for 2 weeks, and it was for 2 years. People weren't prepared. Nobody knew it was going to go on that long. And so if you are not playing the game of money, you are not going to be prepared for what is coming up. So let's dive into this. I have some money facts along the way, right? First of all, don't look back. I was on a call with someone yesterday, and all she talked about was, oh, I can't do anything because of the pandemic. Well, the pandemic is gone. Okay, that was 5 years ago. What have you done for me lately? So stop looking at the past. It's never going to be as bright as your potential. Okay. So I want you to think about this. This is a new game. And if you say, I had a client go, well, I'm so used to doing it this way. Well, great. I know we're all used to doing something a certain way. Okay. It's called a habit. And when you put some ends on that habit, it becomes you do it for long enough, it becomes a rut. You put some ends on it, it becomes a grave. So your habits can bury you. You must change, right? Different identity, different game board. And so you have to play by different rules. The ones you were taught are no longer valid. Okay, so don't look back. Where you're going is going to be a lot brighter. So we're talking Monopoly. Okay, what was your favorite piece? Do you remember these? I think they're kind of fun, right? They're the thimble, you had the iron, the purse, the little Scotty dog, the lantern, the ship, the rocking horse. Which one was your favorite? Put it down in the comments, okay? Did you have one that you mostly won by? My sister used to always go for the little Scotty dog. Guess what? She had two of those in real life, okay? I was a designer. I used to love designing clothes. And so I always went for the thimble or the iron. Okay. What did you go for? So it was a fun game. That's why it sold millions. They've even made a Monopoly board all out of diamonds. It costs the person who had it custom made $20 million for a Monopoly game. There's even other versions of it now. And I'm going to talk about that, how all of this applies to your business, right? If you start looking at your business and money in a fun way, it won't be this burden, this thing that like you carry on your back and my shoulders all day long. Okay. It's fun. Okay. So it's a tool. It's an exchange mechanism. It's just like, how much can I exchange? How often can I exchange? How much more can I get for the money? Right. So pick your tool, right? Pick your piece that you want to move around in this world on. What are you going to use as your game piece, right? And that's your business. You also want to look at what level of play are you at, okay? Because if you think about it, not everybody's playing at the same level, are we? Some people are new to this and some people are adults, but you have to excel past your point of incompetence. Let me say that again, okay? You have to excel past your point of confidence. So you might not feel good about something you're doing, but you have to get really good at it because as an entrepreneur, almost everything you do every day, you're going to be learning something. And if you're object to learning and growing and struggling, it won't work. Most people talk about flow and balance and harmony. That's awesome. But let me tell you how that works with the brain. Stephen Kotler wrote a great book about the art of impossible. And I want you to think like this. Think about how can I achieve the impossible? In marketing, you see all these challenges, right? But nobody really challenges themselves in it, right? They don't even finish. So life is the challenge, and you need to push past. And so guess what people do? Why are there haves and have-nots? Okay. What do the have-nots do? They work really hard to something and like, whew, that was hard. Okay, I got to sit back and rest and relax on the couch and grab a beer and the clicker. And that's all I can do. Now, okay, there's something else. Why? Because they just got too hard and then they quit. Okay. But those are the have-nots. What do iconic leaders do? Iconic leaders know, oh, that was hard. And now you know I'm almost at the finish line. I have a little bit more to go, just a little bit more. But that's the hardest part, right? That's the struggle zone. And iconic leaders actually dive into that struggle zone. And you must dive into that struggle zone because when it comes to the way your brain works, the way it works is that that's tapping into the neurochemicals and dopamine, and it triggers dopamine, right? The feel good chemical. And when you step into that struggle zone, it's like a river, okay, between quitting and flow. And if you can stay in that struggle zone and own it and live in it and know it's temporary and it's something you're moving through, not backing away from, I promise you, you will have an amazing $1 million business, an iconic brand, everything that you want. But you must swim through the struggle zone and not stop right as things get hard, because that is beyond your level of confidence or competence. Okay. So remember, building a big business, building a 7, 8, 9 figure business, which is what we should all do, right? Why struggle? Um, that's kind of a double entendre there, right? So I don't want you to struggle unnecessarily. You're going to struggle to get to your goal, okay? But don't do it by being poor, not having enough money, worrying about debt all day long, or worrying about the economy, right? You have to have so much money that the economy is nothing. It's like if it changes, interest rates go up, down, what, cost of living, whatever, you have the money to move, to do whatever you want. Don't let anything outside of you be a limiting block. Okay. A lot of people go around and they act like they're powerless. Okay. So it's kind of like this, right? You have a card, right? What is the deck of cards that you were handed, right? Are you handed a king, right? An ace, a 10, a jack, a joker? Okay. What card were you handed in life? And some people think that that's it. That's all I got. No, you have the power. I'm going to talk about this in a second. You have the power to change that. No matter what hand you're dealt, you can change that. Okay. And this is, remember, money is an internal game. Okay. So you have to know at what level are you playing. Okay. And then you also want to know that you have to become an A player. Okay. You can't just sit on the sidelines. You have to play, stay in the game regardless of the fact that the chips may be down. Okay. And don't back out just because that's, oh, I'm going to wait this out. I'm going to wait till the election is over. Then I'm going to really dive in. Don't do that. Don't let anything outside of you control what you have the potential to be and to become. So if you want to scale up to 7 figures in 1 year, just go ahead and go straight to callkoni.com. Okay. You can put call down below and I'll take you through a profit and scale call. I'll show you exactly what it takes for you to make a 7-figure year. Okay. Super easy. We do this all the time. And so let's talk about the steps and the strategies that you have to understand, right? First of all, think about the Monopoly board. Okay. What's happening in the corners there? It's opposite. On one side, you have jail, right? And I think a lot of people are a prisoner to their business. They are slaves to their business. It's become a job. Okay. So you need to stop behaving like that. Okay. What you need to do is be on the other side of the game board. And that's where every time you cross go, you make $200, right? Think of that as your monthly recurring revenue. All right. How can you shift part of your business or your business model? If you're not sure, book a call with me. I'll show you exactly how to do it for your type of business and your type of personality and the size of your team. All of these things come into play. It's not just one trick pony, right? It's not just one way. It's customized to you. Your business is a unique snowflake, all right? And so you have to make sure that your strategies are in alignment. So monthly recurring revenue. You must have recurring revenue models right now. That's the key. Okay. So you don't go up and down and fluctuate on like on a roller coaster to the whims of the market and the economy. Because here's the difference. When you have this, it's a difference of, do you own your business or does your business own you and your time? Okay. So think about this. Another money fact, right? If you fall down, you've got to get back up. I was talking earlier that there are 30 different versions of the Monopoly game. Think of it like MRR, right? Monthly recurring revenue. If you don't like the basic one, maybe you want the Star Wars version or the Pokemon version or the Game of Thrones version. So think about, how can you do this with your business? How can you make it recurring? How can you expand the brand? So if one thing goes out of favor, something else is available for you. Because the more times you go around the game board, right, the more you make. Think about this: is every time you pass go, you collect $200, collect $200. How often can you duplicate your success? So speed is everything. There are two ways to make money, only two ways. One is fast, the other slow. Okay? Pick fast. It's a lot better. So book a call. I'll show you how to do it very fast. 7 figures in a year. Not that hard of a decision, right? Okay, so what are the three things you have to do to fix your money problems? You have to look at the strategy, you have to look at the structure, and you have to look at the systems. It's all I want you to think about today. Okay, what's my strategy? What's my business structure, and what systems do I have in there? Okay, and they need to come in an order. You need to know your structure. What is the structure of my business? How is it built? What kind of model is it? And once I know that, what's the strategy to grow it, and what are the systems to keep it growing? Super simple, right? And so the question is, if you're looking at a strategy, do you have a plan to win, or are you just kind of hoping? Like, it's a throw of the dice, right? Let's see what happens. So don't do that. That's going to be an actual plan for failure. Hope is not a strategy, right? What is part of your strategy is focus. You have to stay on track. And the truth is that 68% of entrepreneurs admit that they're overwhelmed. Okay. And I just want you to know, if you're trying to do everything, every time you realize business is too slow, I'm not making enough money, you know what most entrepreneurs do? Most business owners then look for a new strategy, something else to do. Think this isn't working fast enough. I should do something new, put something else on top of it, and top of that, and top of that, and top of that. Well, multitasking is a cognitive impossibility. You actually can't multitask. All you do is actually slow down your productivity, and you overwhelm your body and you fatigue your body. It doesn't work. Okay. So don't think you're a master multitasker. Nah, you've just been deluded. Okay. So have a strategy for longevity. Stop looking at fads, hacks, hype, hustle, um, all the headaches that come with that, and the hair loss and the hubris, right? Oh, I'm so awesome, right? I did this, right? But sometimes people can make a lot of money because timing, right? Crypto had a timing, right? In 2020, online businesses had the timing, right? But what happened to them in 2023? A lot of them just disappeared. Okay. So they didn't have a strategy for longevity. That's what you need. And um, think about this with your strategy, right? You need to figure out a way to compress time. Right? Speed is everything. Speed is sexy, right? When you're going on a hot date with your spouse or with somebody that you just met, like, do you get the Prius or do you get the Porsche, right? Which one are you going to pull out, right? The one that's faster. People think that's hot and sexy. So speed is sexy. It works. It turns heads. Go fast in business, right? Make money slow, make money fast. So you have to reduce time. You have to reduce the time delay to make money. Okay. Very, very important. Most people are doing it so slow. Here's our rule at the Iconic Brands, and that is, if you've been in business 3 years and you have not made the $1 million mark, you are doing something wrong. You don't have the right strategy. So what do you do? Okay. Understand that rent is due every single day. Okay. And your business is always growing in proportion to your creativity. How creative can you be? Right? If you were just trying to do the same thing you did last year, the same thing to hang on, to try and not lose money, you can't do that. You can't stand still. That's entropy. And you don't actually stand still. You actually are going backwards, right? I'll put it up tomorrow. There's a chart that I have, and it'll show you exactly how much money your dollar is worth. Like, I live in California right now, a dollar is worth 88 cents. If I do nothing, right, I continue to go broke. So you can't have a business strategy that's like trying to hang on. All right. So the other thing you have to figure out is, with your strategy, how do you get a ton of leads, right? How do you do that? What is your process? Okay. Do you have a system for this? And like, right, you've got to turn on the waterworks. Everything has to go. And then the question is, with the system, If I gave you 1,000 leads today, how many could you close? How many would refund? How many would you not even get to? Okay. So people always say, I need leads, I need leads, I need leads. They don't even have the systems in place to be able to handle that. So careful what you wish for, right? But you also, when you're thinking about this, is not fall into a poverty consciousness. If you've got to fix your money woes, is drown your doubt. All right. So neuroscience reveals that your willpower is only effective as your level of consciousness. And so, what that says, or if you're familiar with Dr. David Hawkins, he was my mentor for 12 years, and I studied predictable human behavior, right? And a PhD in advanced theoretical physics. So we look at not just how to build a business, not just money and the science behind it, right? How do all of those go together? And so we understand there's a 4-step strategy to build $1 million businesses. And you know what's really interesting? That same 4-step strategy is the exact same one that you use to transform your consciousness and your mindset. And so you have to get rid of the doubt. It's vital. Okay. And you can't use willpower because willpower only rises to the level of your consciousness. And if you're not highly conscious, guess what? You're going to struggle. Some people just like, how come it's easier for some people? They have a higher level of consciousness. And so, what does that mean? They have a lower level of ego. And if you can eliminate your ego, that's the thing that's holding you back in business. So, what you need to do is eliminate chance. All right. So, get off your high horse. Okay. You need to stop thinking, oh, I'll try this. I'll try this. I'll try this. No, you can't. One trick pony. Just do one thing, one singular thing, one singular structure, business model, one strategy. Grow that to $1 million and then duplicate and then duplicate and then duplicate. That's your multiple streams of income, not upfront. If you haven't made $1 million, forget trying to do multiple streams of income. Look at all the goats, all the great people in the world. They have one business, right? Okay, so follow that. So mindset is a lot, right? Your thoughts do become reality. What you're thinking about, if you're thinking about your debt, your lack of money, the worry about the economy, guess what? You're going to follow that because your brain follows emotion. And if you don't put enough emotion into the objective you have, the goal that you have for your business and for yourself and for your freedom and for your life, you won't follow it. You have to have more energy into that than you do around the fear of what you think is going to come. So if you want a quick way, we call it our 1-page goal sheet, and it's called a results sheet. If you want a really powerful way to guarantee that you're going to hit your target, your outcome, let's say in the 3 months that we have left, and you want to make sure at the end of the year you hit it and you have the impossible, okay, get the results sheet. Just ask for it and we will send it right over to you. It is awesome. All of my clients use it. It's required. Okay. And we've been using it. My staff uses it and everybody loves it. Absolutely everybody loves it. And in fact, they implement and they give it to their clients. They love it that much. Okay. So you have to really control this thing. It's the powerhouse, right? And no matter how much money you have, if you don't control this, you will lose it. You will push it away subconsciously. And you can see this. It's proven when you look at lottery winners within 3 years, they're all completely broke because they never worked on their level of consciousness. Okay. So now that you know you've got a strategy, you also have to have the right structure. Okay. You have to be smart from the start. You have to pick the right vehicle. What's the right vehicle for you? We have somebody on our team, Angie, and she came to me as a client. She first worked on her mindset and worked through our SOAR process. And she does 21-day mind mastery. She is a rock star. Okay. And she didn't want to do anything till she fixed her mind, which was very smart. And then she said, now I'm ready for business. And she wanted to go into this other business. And she goes, I want to do this again. I said, don't do that again. It's not the right industry. And the market has changed. You should go into this industry. And she went from absolute zero, okay, -0, into a 6-figure business in 6 months, making $10,000 in her 6th month of business from nothing and no experience in it, no leads, no clients, no nothing. Okay. Why? She picked the right vehicle. Okay. And she also followed the strategy, 4 steps. There's only 4. If you're doing more than 4 steps, that's why you haven't gotten to $1 million. If you want to know the 4 steps, just book a call Koni.com, and you can ask me and I will show you those 4 steps. I'll give you a quiz and you can see which of those 4 steps are you lacking. You can even just go right now. You can go to thesoarquiz.com and take the quiz and then get the results. Because you have to think about this. Business is like real estate. I used to have a real estate investment firm and mortgage companies and all across the country. And if you Googled a certain word around mortgages, that was us. We're at the top of Google all the time, in 14 different states. And real estate has one rule that is always present: location, 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 right? That's what matters. So the vehicle, the structure, is your location in business. Okay. You must have the right structure. If you're thinking, I want to start a business, I want to start a newspaper, like a real print newspaper, not going to work. Okay. That's old news. Okay. So people think they want to do this easy. I just want to make it easy. I have people say all the time, you know what? I don't want to actually talk to people. I just want to make a webinar, have people come, and then they buy, and that's it. And I don't really want to talk to them. Like, why wouldn't you want to talk to the people that just gave you an incredible amount of money, right? This is, this is a business of human to human, not human to automation. Okay. Just because we have automation, it's a luxury. Um, it's not a block. So people want no pressure. I don't want to do this. It's too hard. You're not an entrepreneur. Go get a job. Okay. But you have to understand that it's like diamonds, right? They need pressure to come out. And getting to the top is hard, but it's simple. Okay. Mediocrity is also hard and it's complicated. So you pick your battles, but it's always worth it. When you get to the top, when you swim through the river of struggle, it's amazing. It is amazing. Let me tell you, when I was $86,000 in debt a few years ago, right around the time of the pandemic, right before then, because I followed the wrong strategies and the wrong structure. My two very, very, very expensive coaches told me completely the wrong thing. And I went down, 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 down. In 9 months, I lost $86,000 doing exactly what they said. Anybody been there? It was a nightmare. And guess what? They're still teaching the same thing. I don't see a lot of success stories out of that, but I was in the wrong strategy. Even though I was working hard and doing every single thing they said, I've always been an A student, did it all right, and I failed. Okay. But when you get the right structure and you have the right strategy and you have the right systems, it's a dream. Okay. And I'll tell you, having the ability to write a check for a brand new high level sports car is awesome. A 6-figure check, to write a 6-figure check to charities, to write an $86,000 check to get rid of all my debt. That felt good. To never, ever, ever have to worry about money again feels great. So is it worth it? Absolutely. Okay. So that's why I say do it fast. I did it in 9.5 months. How quickly can you do it? So get on that railroad to success, right? There's studies that have been done that if you are part of a group of people, right, associate with like minds, that you will have 7 times greater success than if you did it on your own. You can't build a 7, 8, 9-figure business on your own. Don't even try. If you don't have a couple mentors or at least one, then you're not going to reach the heights that you could. So we do have a high-level mastermind that is now opening. October is the month of my birthday, and so we will be opening that for October, which is only a couple days away. So if you want to find a way to 7x your success, I'd love to invite you into our mastermind. And there are only a handful of people because it's very focused and very concentrated, and my time, the amount of time I have is very short. There's not a lot of open spaces on my calendar, and I also, travel 8 weeks a year. So what is it like? We call these levers, right? There's levers that you can pull. Think of it like a slot machine where you can pull the lever and you win money. Okay. So these are levers. These are profit levers. I have a book called The 12 Profit Levers. So the 5 big ones, like when you come join us in our mastermind, is you're going to be with like-minded people, people that want to make millions of dollars. Have you ever been around people and they like, oh, you can't do that, or you'll never do that. Everyone said, Connie, you can't get to 1 million in a year. Okay, none of them have reached 1 million yet. So you can do this. You can achieve the impossible, but you have to be around in an environment that people encourage that and they're on the same track. There's not any competition. It's not like your own family, which is probably highly dysfunctional and they don't want you to succeed more than they do, right? So you have to be around the right kind of people. And that's where a high level mastermind comes into play. And it's not something that sucks your time or forces you into courses and downloading videos and PDFs. That's not it. Okay. So, how it looks is very, very simple so that you would have access and you'd be focusing, right? We talked about focus. You'd be focusing on the key things every single day so you know what to look at, right? Knowing that you have the right message, the right offer, the right structure, the right brand, the right team. Everything is aligned for you. So you're working on your authority, your credibility, your marketability, your visibility, and your profitability. That's how you build a whole business. So if you want an invitation to test drive our high level mastermind, I would welcome you to go to callconnie.com and just ask or type call me or mastermind down below. And that way you can see exactly what does that look like? What would happen to me, to my business? What do I need to be? What level do I need to be at? What if I'm not at 1 million? What if I just started? You probably have a gazillion questions. We have a gazillion answers, but this is the only time we're going to be opening it up. And so starts in October. That's a couple days away. Now's the time to get in. There's only a handful. And when I say handful, I mean a handful. That are going to have that kind of personalized attention. So if you're curious about it and you think, well, who else is going to take me to $1 million in a year? How else am I going to get to $1 million very, very fast? This is it. Okay. So I'd love to invite you in. This is the first time I've exposed it to the public. My current clients know about it who want to, level up into it. But this is for you. I want you to know that it's out there. Ask me questions, ask for all the details. I will take you through as much or as little detail as you need so that you can make a decision about that. And so all I want you to remember is go here, right? You got to get around the board. And if you haven't gotten around to that 7-figure part, you have got to get going. So go to callconnie.com and then we'll talk. So all I want you to do now is know that take action on these things. Look at your mindset. Where is your mind? Where is your business, right? How are you positioned? What's your game piece that you're playing in this life? And are you primed to win? Okay, because money is a game. The goal is to win. And you probably had the wrong rules. And today I gave you all the right rules. If you need a replay, just type replay. We will get that to you. And remember, we do the Money Fix every Tuesday at 5 p.m. here on Iconic TV. And we want you to come every week and ask us questions. What do you want? What's your problem? I will give you a prescription every week. And all you have to do is show up. So get your results sheet, get all the freebies we gave you today. If you missed anything, my team is here and they can answer everything for you. See you later. And hopefully you're going to be one of the handful of people in our brand new high level mastermind. See you later.